Good morning, guys. I have just got back from this morning's PBL case close, and to be honest, it really wasn't a good session. And good morning, guys. Starting today pretty slowly, just having a coffee on the top floor whilst doing my Tesco order. And now I'm gonna head back to the flat, have some breakfast, get on with some revision just before my hospital placement. Big day ahead. So I've just done my Tesco order, £86 for a week's shop. It's absolutely crazy. Everything's gone up in price so much. I remember when milk was like 95p for 4 pints. It's now £1.40. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, so I've just done half an hour's work on this week's case, and I actually feel really positive about the progress that I've made this week. I've actually got through pretty much everything in terms of building the question banks. As you can see from my monthly timetable, it's Thursday and I've got through pretty much everything except the treatments and the BSS. So that means because I've already formulated my question banks, tomorrow I can prioritize basically just going through the questions and becoming really familiar with the content using Active Recall. But now it is definitely time for me to start getting dressed and then head over to my placement because it's 12 o'clock and my placement is at 1 o'clock in Withamshaw. So let's go. What do we think? Gone for a little bit of a more stylish approach today. Still trousers, nice t-shirt from COS. Feel like you can never go wrong with COS, and a pair of boots. Not bad. I think I'm gonna go with this. And so absolutely no idea what to expect for the hospital placement, but going in again with an open mind, gonna be inquisitive and really excited to see what we get up to. I've also brought my stethoscope just in case. And this is the outfit. So, let's do it. And so my ETA isn't looking very good. 12:45 and I need to park and then find where I need to be. So, again, I've clearly not learnt my lesson in terms of getting there way earlier than I need to be. Guys, this is actually a proper trek to get to. And Withamshaw's one of the 4 teaching hospitals that you could be placed in your clinical years from years 3 to 5. And like, I'm just so happy I got MRI, which is basically on site at the university. It's like 5 minutes from the university. But this drive to Withamshaw, this is bad enough. This is like 25 minutes. Can't imagine what it's like at rush hour first thing in the morning. Right, okay, I'm here and I've got 10 minutes to go. It's 12:47. Parking here is £5 for 4 hours, which is really steep, but you know, I'm here in good time. I'm not sure how much footage I'm gonna be able to get inside, so I will catch you after. Okay, this place is an actual maze. So make sure for your first ever hospital visit, you plan for getting lost. It's literally taken me 15 minutes to find this place. I think I'm in the right place. Yep. Wow, what an amazing experience that was. First ever hospital visit, and the only hospital visit of this year actually. Normally in first year you will get around 3 hospital visits, but because of COVID it's meant that we've only had 1 visit, and that was today's visit, which was so fun. We started with some just infection control, learning a bit about PPE, and about what the different levels of PPE are used for and what they look like. Then we actually had a look around the ward which we were placed on, which was a research and learning ward, which is used for the medical students, so it's not around patients. That's because of COVID. I believe that during non-COVID times, whatever that actually means now, you would be around patients, you would actually be able to speak to them. But we were in a specific region where we looked at mannequins, we looked at different body parts, we saw what medical students will train with and look at and touch and feel, and we saw many different instruments, specifically ones that are used by the anaesthetist, and different things to open the airway. And then we learned about hand washing, of course, which was really, really important because we've not actually had specific training on hand washing yet, but it makes sense because we're not actually around patients. But yeah, it's like a really big deal, like how long you have to wash for and how to specifically wash. So that was interesting. Then we did a little bit of like basic physiology where like if a specific patient had presented and like what to be observant for. And it was actually really interesting because they had like this mannequin up that had loads of props by that person. And it was really indicative of them having a respiratory infection just by looking at what the patient was on, the antibiotics that was in the IV, the fact that they had a pulse oximeter on, the fact that they were sat upright, and the fact that you could see, you know, there was a nebulizer, a spacer, just various different things indicating that it was probably a respiratory tract infection. And then at the end, we did something that I really need practice on, which is taking blood pressures the manual way. We've not had huge amounts of time to practice this, and I did bring my stethoscope just in case because I thought maybe we would have the opportunity to do that, so thank God I did. So definitely bring yours. But I'd sometimes find it difficult like hearing the brachial pulse when you're trying to do the blood pressure reading, when you're trying to do that manually. But the best part of all, of course, getting my blood pressure done. And yet again finding out that I am like scarily hypertensive. Like I've always known I have pretty high blood pressure. You can kind of tell by my personality as well. But my blood pressure was 155 over 90 first, and then after we got 148 over like 80 or 90 again, which is just shocking. It's not normal for a 27-year-old male that is active, healthy. Like I do sport, I don't smoke, I don't do anything bad like that. Like I drink just average amounts. So like I just don't get how my blood pressure is so high. But it has definitely meant that I am absolutely going to go ahead and book an appointment with my GP and get this assessed and get this like properly looked into because I'm getting a little bit concerned now. Anyway, it is nearly 5 p.m. and I've got DJing at 6 p.m. I've got to go to work and I've not eaten any lunch yet. So I'm gonna head back, get some food on, do a little bit of work probably, and then head off to work. So guys, before I set off, I do want to just show you this Desert West car mount stand, which was sent to me very kindly by them. It is available on Amazon. I think it's only about 20-30 quid, so it's a steal considering this is the best car stand that I've ever had for a phone. It's so sturdy, as you can see, so stable. You don't ever have to worry about it falling off. You slide your phone in really simply, just like that, and then you just close it. And you can hear when it's super tight, and it just works super well, just like that. I can set my sat nav up, my address in, just like that. But also, I love the fact that, you know, I can spin it around like that, and it's super easy to get like a landscape view. And then when I want to take the phone out, I very easily just press the little button, and it opens just like that. Super simple, super easy to use, and it's just really well made. Go check it out. Easily my favorite thing on the menu. Peanut butter, skewers, unreal. Unreal meal number 2. Salmon, teriyaki, kale, potatoes. Good morning guys, it is Friday and I have just got back from this morning's PBL case close. Now PBL is really about making comments, making suggestions, exploring topics and ideas that maybe you don't necessarily understand and putting it forward to the group. and it's for the group to support you in your ideas and to explore the way that you think and to potentially help you in better understanding concepts. I didn't enjoy today's session, and that's because there was just a bit of a disagreement in the group, and it was about a comment that was made that I didn't feel like the group was supportive of, and it's not, as I say, what PBL is about, and it's not how to get the best from PBL. So yeah, it's not the best start to my Friday, but you know, I've got my coffee and I've got a lot of other things that I need to get on with, so I'm just gonna enjoy this. And this is what an £85 food shop looks like. So expensive, but super convenient. So I got really carried away just making a YouTube thumbnail, and it's now 2 minutes to 1, so I'm gonna be late for my CCA session, which is gonna mean that I get an absent marking, because apparently you're absent if you're 2 minutes late. So yeah, I need to get off. But I think the thumbnails turned out pretty well. So late. Okay, so that Fizz Farm session was pretty good. It was just like a recap of some of the things that we're going to be examined on. We only actually have 2 of these practice sessions, this one and one in 2 weeks' time before our exam. So we had to do the hematology, the how to use an inhaler, peak flow meters, spirometry, ECG, all that kind of stuff. And we only had an hour and 15 minutes to kind of become familiar with what that's going to consist of and just practice the skills, including blood pressure readings, which I'm feeling way more confident about now. But I literally have just cycled home for 15 minutes to cook this food, to have some lunch, and then go back for my consultation skills session. So I'm gonna eat this and dip. Wow, that was such a good consultation skills refresher, getting familiar again with the cardiovascular exam, the respiratory exam. It was really good to practice that time. But that is the end of this week, basically, the week of med school, before we break up again for another reading week to prepare for my exams that are coming up in 3 weeks. It's crazy to think that. But tonight I'm gonna be DJing from 6 p.m, again at Restaurant Yours, until about 11ish, and then get back into revision. So that is pretty much it for this week's video. And this is pretty much where I'm gonna end this week's vlog. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed it. Please press the like button down below if you have, it really helps the channel. And also check out these other videos on my channel that are all around here, and follow me on the socials, which are linked in the description below. But as always, I will see you in the next one.